Hello and welcome to the Python tutorial for the class 233350. My name is Luke Fullard and I'll be helping you out today. Okay, so when we're looking at writing code with Python, what we're going to use is something called the Anaconda distribution. Because this has a lot of apps built into it that we can use and make things a little bit more easy to follow. So I'm going to assume that you've already installed the Anaconda distribution. If you haven't done that, then please pause this video and go do that now according to the instructions in the guide that has been given to you. Okay, so what we want to do now is launch the Anaconda Navigator. So how we do that in Windows is we open up our Windows button here, or click our Windows button here and type Anaconda. Okay, and then we can click on this app, Anaconda Navigator. Okay, if you're in Linux or Mac, then you have to open a terminal and type a specific command that's given to you in the guide. Okay, so I already have Anaconda Navigator open. I happen to have version 1.9.12. If you have a different version, things may look slightly different, but the same principles should apply. Okay, so in this Anaconda Navigator, we've got a whole bunch of apps, and for this particular class, we probably will only use one, which is called Spider. So what I'd like you to do now, please, is click Launch on this Spider, and it may take a little while to load up, but once it loads up, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. Okay, the windows may be set out differently in your particular version of Spider, but don't stress about that. As long as you've got the two main windows, which are Editor up here and the console over here. Okay, you can, if there are any other windows, you can probably just close them by finding a cross on the right side of the window. But the two that we really need to look at are the Editor and the console. Okay, so the editor, this is kind of like a notepad or a word processor, so to speak. This is where we're actually going to type our code. Okay, and so this is going to be the main area where you're typing things. Console, this is going to be all your outputs. So when you create some nice code that perhaps draws the shortest line between 2 points, then over on the right-hand side here, this is where we're going to get a nice picture of that. Where on the left-hand side here, we write 1 + 1 in our code. On the right-hand side, it's going to say equals 2. Okay, so when you first open these, they're often full of junk text. So I don't really like this junk text myself in this console. So I'm just going to type clear and then enter, and it gives me a nice clean slate. And then on the left-hand side here in the notepad, when I'm creating a new file to create a new code, it often gives me a whole lot of junk as well. So I'm just going to select all of that and delete it. Okay. So the most important, well, I guess the first step in creating a Python file is this button up here. So this creates a new file. Okay. Again, whenever I create a new file, I get this junk, so I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to save this file before I do anything. Okay, so I'm going to click on the Save button, and I'll give it some kind of name. Let's say Lab Python 1. And really the important thing is that this file ends in this file extension .py, py standing for Python. So whatever you want to call this part, up to you, as long as it ends in .py. Okay, so now it's saved. Okay, so in the second video, we will actually start programming things.